Emilio and this is Keila. We both work at Satan's Whiskers and we're here with Havana Club Cocktail Maestros, and today's Maestro session is about our kind of collaborative approach towards making cocktails and the importance of teamwork within this cocktail competition. I have been making cocktails for 12 years, have been in hospitality a lot longer than that. There was this set of cool kind of sort of speakeasy bars when that was all the rage back in Bristol where I grew up. I was working in an Italian restaurant bar at the time. Me and the manager fell out and I was unemployed for 3 days and I got a phone call from the manager of this new speakeasy bar. So I did 2 years there, 2 years in another speakeasy in Bristol. Yeah, I just kind of fell into it.
So when I came to London in 2012, I did not speak any English, I didn't know anybody. I hadn't really worked before in hospitality, and so I started working in a Mexican restaurant, and I think it was some sort of love at first sight. I just really liked the energy of the bar. Like, I saw the guys making cocktails and talking to the guests, and I was like, I want to do that. So what excites me about the Havana Club Cocktail Maestros comp is I think the fact that you get to share the whole process with somebody.
I don't think I've ever seen a format of this type from a brand as well known as Havana Club. And that's great. Like, I think a lot of the time there's a large focus on the individual rather than the kind of what it's actually like working in a bar, which is a lot more collaborative, there's a lot more kind of back and forth and exploration.
More playful, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'd be more entertaining to see what people do with it.
So today we've got 3 different types of rum to taste. We're going to have the 3 years old, the 7 years old, and the one that I'm the most excited about, which is the spice one that I have not tasted before.
I think we should start with Havana Club 3. I think in honor of tradition, we must respect this Para los Santos.
Daiquiri, already
Grassy,
ready to drink.
vanilla-y, it's already, yeah, it's already. You don't even need to add the rest. It's the best white rum. I said it, all right?
Fresh, crisp.
It's super crisp.
Let's taste the 7.
Okay, I am always excited about tasting this one.
The 7?
Yeah, I love it. So good.
All right.
Thank you. Because all the same qualities are still there, but it's just more rich.
Datey.
I was going to say dates.
Oh, really?
So raisins, dates. Yeah. Obviously, you get a lot more wood and.
It's almost like cigar.
You've got to say cigar. Like particularly the outside, like the tobacco leaf, the dried tobacco leaf. That was all on the nose.
It's very like vanilla-y. It changes quite a lot actually. Sweeter than the 3.
Right on the end I'm getting like apricots as well. Definitely stone fruits. Whenever I'm tasting spirits that have been aged and give off these kind of qualities, I immediately go to like a stirred drink. But because of the like apricots and things, I can
Pina colada.
Pina colada, yeah, for sure. You could do Cuban peach as well, like that like peachy kind of daiquiri twist. Would work super well. It has all the qualities of Havana Club 3, but it has more as well. So I think you can manipulate it however you like. You can bring out those grassy notes, or you can go with the wood and the stone fruits and the cigar and the tobacco leaves and that kind of thing.
Yeah, play with it.
It'd be interesting to see it in a long drink and see what we can do.
Spice one. Well, the smell already is quite a thing.
Whoa.
Oh, it's pretty incredible though. And some cola. Do you get some cola?
Cola cubes. Candied pineapple.
Yeah.
Like cola bottles.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think this one is a lot sweeter, so definitely a citrusy thing.
I think my all-time favourite Havana Club drink is a Hemingway. I think it's a perfect drink. What I wanted to try and do is like lengthen that out a little bit.
Okay, cool. How are we doing that?
So I've got a little bit of a cherry blend. We talked about stone fruits earlier. We talked about dried apricots. Obviously there's maraschino in the Hemingway, kirsch juice as well, and some other bits. Do you think we should use Havana 3?
Well, I think if you want to make it a little bit longer, I think maybe the 7 will be nicer. Do you want to add a little bit of soda, or is just serve long?
Well, should we start with like something on the rocks, and then if we feel like it needs more body or something, we'll see where we go.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Collaboration when creating a drink is essential. You have to get through a few stages before it would go onto the menu here. Let's say I'm coming up with a drink. I would get it to a stage where I was happy with it. Then I would bring it to you. You know, would ask your opinion, whether you think this works, if there's anything I can lose, or if the technique I'm using is right. And it will be over a number of days as well, because we'll taste it the following day with like a fresh palate, and the whole process is collaborative.
Yeah, I think that whenever you're making something, sometimes you get too caught up in the details or the thought process, and I think it's only beneficial to get an external point of view and to get a new perspective of it, a fresh pair of eyes and fresh palate. Ultimately, you're not doing the drink for yourself, but for the people, so it's important to get their input.
I think it creates a more rounded and more perfected drink when you work with others.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a degree of humility that you need to have to accept that you don't have the perfect palate and you're not the perfect guest. And so the more input you have from the outside and the more discussions you have about it, and it can only make your drink better.
They work.
Sugaroo.
More sugar. Or more cherry. More sugar.
Yeah, I think maybe this could be nice, and I would add a little bit more.
It's crazy, isn't it? You add like a tiny bit of sugar. I'm going to go 2.5 of that. And one of these?
No, one of these.
One of these.
Two.
Two of these.
It's actually quite nice.
Yeah. First take, done.
But if you tell me that this is a twist on a Hemingway, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Because I guess it's like a Hemingway mixed with a Havana special now. I hadn't thought of that. Would you change anything? Do you think longer?
I think it's nice. I think it'll be nicer, a little bit drier, because I think it's like a nice characteristic of both the Hemingway and the Roms.
Should we try it with the 3-year-old?
Yeah, so I think get to know your partner very well, their strengths and weaknesses, and rely on them, trusting them as well. And, yeah, complementing each other and trusting that.
If we were entering Havana Club Cocktail Maestros, I'm like, what would we...
Well, you'll be like the creative genius one, and I'll be like, no. That doesn't work. Start again.
I disagree. I don't know.
No, I think you'll get caught up on like
I'd need
crazy
you to
stuff,
rein-
I'll be like, Emilio, focus.
Okay.
Just.
If I have a problem with something or I need to get better at something, I can come to you and be like, okay, well, how do I do this better? Or what do you think of this drink? I know where my pitfalls are, and I can ask you to kind of balance me out a little bit.
Somebody told me once that it was important to build your bar team like a football team, so you needed to have a little bit of everything. Because obviously if everybody is the same type of person, you don't progress, you don't learn from each other. And I think a very cool thing about you is that you are the literal opposite. And so we complement each other, and you know, I learn a lot.
If you were to get a kind of sneak peek into how people operate and for them to kind of funnel some of that energy into showcasing it and actually presenting it in front of people, then like that is something I would really want to come and watch.
A little bit more grapefruit. Should we shake it with a grapefruit inside?
Yeah. I do think being slightly competitive feeds into teamwork.
Yeah, I think being competitive means that you care about what you're doing. And if everybody aims to be better, then the whole team is better overall.
Yeah.
So.
Have I missed anything? So we've got lime, sugar, cherry mix, grapefruit slice, Havana 3.
That's it.
That's it. Perfect. I'm actually really proud of this.
Greatest achievement, just out of the blue.
Magnus opus on the spot.